That's right, it's a Midwest Gaming Classic of 2023 in downtown Milwaukee. The MGC is described as a trade show featuring 200,000 plus square feet of blah 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 blah. Look, if you want to buy old crap, you can. If you want to play pinball, they got a lot of it. If you feel like cosplaying, you can do that too. And if for some reason you want to watch two guys randomly wrestle each other, more power to you. So come along on my trip to the Midwest Gaming Classic. We only had a one-day pass, so right out the gate it was the vendor hall. I had two agenda items to accomplish here. First was to actually sell or trade some of the duplicates in my collection. I've never sold or traded anything before, so this was actually a new experience for me. And here was my first sale. I offloaded a Lunar, a Saga Frontier 2, and a sealed copy of Bat and Kato's. I ended up selling a copy of Brave Fencer Musashi to somebody who chased me down after one of the booths as well. I partially ended up regretting it because while it was a duplicate, I kind of realized after I'd handed it to him that it was my childhood copy. And even though the one on my shelf was still in better condition, it feels like a piece of me died. It's funny how we hold on to stuff like that, huh? Either way, it's water under the bridge. Now on to objective number 2. Last year, I had acquired a copy of Toomba 2. So this year, naturally, I needed to get Toomba 1. I'd searched up and down all over this place, and believe it or not, I think I found the only guy who had a copy. He kindly gestured me over to the other end of the booth, and there it was. And of course I bought it. I was a very happy man that day. At this point, Stephanie couldn't be any more done with the vendor hall, so it was time for pinball. And on the way to the showroom floor, there was a pinball tournament. These go on all weekend if you're so inclined. Right at the entrance is the main stage. This group is called Arcade Mode. They were kind of a rock, jazz, video game cover group, but they were playing songs from all sorts of games. They were awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed them. But all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, so on to pinball it is. And just check out this showroom. I think a lot of people associate these shows with pinball and arcades. However, there is a ton of home console support both in this showroom and others throughout the building. And they pretty much have every home console from literally every generation, both big names and small names. It is so much fun and it's all playable. And if you've never been to MGC before, this is actually the place where pretty much all of the pinball manufacturers show off their brand new machines. And I'm here to tell you this year was kind of insane. First on the list is Pulp Fiction by Chicago Gaming Company. Now, there was clearly a lot of hype around this machine before the event. Obviously, a ton of people like Pulp Fiction. And this table was designed in collaboration with Quentin Tarantino. If you love this movie, I'm pretty sure you'll love this table. It has a ton of throwbacks, and it is themed extraordinarily well for the era. Every inch of this is retro as an alphanumeric display. It has an old-style coin door on it. If you like 1980s era pinball machines with, I guess, a little bit of a modern flair, I think you'll love this one. Raggy. That's right, it's the Scooby-Doo pinball machine. This table was created by Spooky Pinball and is oddly enough 5 players. And while I don't recall any particular game mechanic that revolves around 5 players, it's interesting nonetheless. There are a lot of ramps and rails in this game, and the upper level is pretty cool, but I feel like this one suffers from the thing I hate most about modern pinball. Overall, the game just feels really soft. I like to feel the flippers. I like to feel the ball getting hit on things. It sounds weird, but I don't know, it's like playing with pillows. And now it absolutely pains me to say this, but I lost the footage for my 2 favorite tables. In my opinion, both Foo Fighters by Stern and Galactic Tank Force by American Pinball were probably the most fun I had. But since I can't show those to you, I'd like to focus on the homebrew instead. If you're unfamiliar with what homebrew is, it's essentially people who design, program, and build their own pinball machines. As an example, here's one that somebody made for Subhumans. It has really beautiful black and white table art, but everything is RGB color-changing LEDs, which highlights it perfectly. It's hard to describe, but this one was just awesome to look at. It's pretty unique. And here's another quick look at one for the movie Beer Fest. Some of these can be really intricately detailed. You can absolutely tell that these are a labor of love for some folks. Speaking of which, check out this funhouse. Rudy's Nightmare is an officially licensed conversion kit. This one was done by Kirk at Man Cave Medic, who I got to chat with at the show. I ain't lying when I tell you this thing is absolutely stunning. At all points of the day, there was a wait for this thing. Everybody wanted to try it. And if you've never played this, but you're not really a fan of Funhouse, I strongly urge you to try this out. This is like a full-on conversion kit. It adds a ton of new features, and I would argue modern features. So even if you don't like the old-style gameplay, this is a completely brand new game. A+ Kirk, I hope you hold on to it. Well, that's it. What did you want for nothing? This was my second year at MGC, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it. And clearly so did this kid. And if one thing's for sure, the pinball community I think just universally is chill everywhere. Pretty much everybody will leave you alone, but if you want to chat with them, they're more than happy to talk to you. Really is the best of both worlds. All in all, I got to find the game that I wanted, I traded some of my duplicates in my collection, and I got to meet some really cool people that all live here in Wisconsin. I'm hoping that'll open some doors for me to shoot some other locations. But in the meantime, there's only one thing left to do. Wah!